Not a scream, not a whisper.
Just footsteps, slow, steady,
Echoing through an empty school corridor.
Koi, Koi, Koi.
That's how she got her name. Madame Koi Koi. And if you ever hear those hills at night, you're not supposed to respond.
Because the moment you do,
She notices you. This legend has been told for decades across boarding schools in countries like
Nigeria, Ghana, and Cameroon. Different schools, different students.
same story.
A strict female teacher,
Elegant.
always dressed in high heels,
Feared by students. Respected.
but never liked,
Some say she punished students harshly. Others say she was betrayed.
or humiliated, or worse, killed. And that's when the story splits.
Because no one agrees on what really happened to her. But everyone agrees on what came after.
They say her spirit never left the school, and at night,
She walks.
the first sign is always the sound. Pwe, pwe, pwe.
Students lying in bed would hear it from far away. At first, it sounds distant, almost like it's outside. But then,
It gets closer,
moving through corridors,
turning corners, climbing stairs.
until it feels like it's right outside your door.
And that's when fear truly begins.
Because in most versions of the story, she is looking for someone. Some say she calls out names,
Some say she asks questions. Simple questions.
like,
Why are you awake? Or, did you see me? And here's the rule every student knows.
do not answer. Because if you do,
She enters.
some versions say she punishes you, others say you disappear. And in some schools, students claim that those who answered
Were found unconscious the next morning.
or unable to speak, or refusing to explain what they saw. Of course, many dismiss it as imagination.
A product of fear, darkness, and strict boarding school life.
Stories passed from older students to younger ones.
Growing stronger every year.
But then,
There are the details that keep the legend alive.
students in different countries describe the same sound,
The same hills.
the same pattern.
Koi, koi, koi.
Some even claim that lights flicker before the sound appears, or that doors slowly open on their own. And the most unsettling part,
No one ever sees her clearly, only glimpses. A shadow, a figure at the end of a corridor, a reflection that disappears when you look directly. Which raises a question.
if no one sees her clearly, how do they all describe the same thing?
That's where the mystery deepens.
Because legends usually change over time, but this one stays almost the same.
Across different schools, different countries,
Different generations,
and that consistency is what makes it unsettling. Some believe it's psychological.
fear spreading in enclosed environments,
Dormitories,
dark hallways.
shared imagination,
Others believe it's something else,
something tied to memory, to places.
to events that were never fully explained.
Because schools are places where people live, learn, and sometimes suffer.
And not every story ends when it should.
Even today, students in boarding schools still talk about her.
Still warn each other, still repeat the same rule.
If you hear the heels, stay quiet.
Don't answer, don't move, because whether the story is real or not,
The fear is,
and sometimes, fear behaves like something alive.
it travels,
It spreads.
it waits for the next person who hears that sound in the dark. Pwe, pwe, pwe. So if you ever find yourself alone in a quiet hallway at night, and you hear footsteps behind you, slow, steady,
Getting closer, there's one question you have to ask yourself. Do you turn around, or pretend you heard nothing? History is not old. History is living inside us. One day, one event, one lesson. Mr. Feedy,